Hi, I'm Keegan Ewell. Live here in LA.
Ramy Shore, also in Los Angeles.
We both play on Point Break, which is a beach team here in LA. That's we actually won the first national championship and then we came in second last year, and we've played today, and now we are bringing you a little bit of commentary about this 4 o'clock showcase game between Fog City and Golden State.
Both San Francisco teams. So both teams are comprised of a lot of club players from the Bay. A lot of Fury players, a lot of Blackbird players on both sides, some Revolver guys. And they're mixing in some folks from the East Coast and a couple of LA players as well.
And we could talk a little bit about, just while we're waiting for this to get going, about this tournament. This tournament is sort of the brainchild of the USAU Beach Committee, which I'm a member of, and we are investigating the 4-on-4 beach format. It's no secret that the Olympic Committee is interested in ultimate frisbee, and we are trying to just do our research and come up with the best format that we can. And so I'm a strong proponent that if we're going to be playing co-ed sports, that we should have the same number of men and women on the field at all times. And so I'm a huge proponent of 6s in grass for mixed and 4s on the beach. Different story. Like, I love 5s single sex, but if we're going to have men and women on the field, it should be equal. You know, it's 2016, and we got to get out of the dark ages in terms of that. So the Beach Committee came up with this tournament as a way to test this possible Olympic format. So what it is it's 4-on-4 beach ultimate, 2 men and women on the field at all times. No one goes 3-1 either way. The field is the standard Whiff-Diff Bula field with one adjustment, really. And that is, when the 4-on-4 field and the 5-on-5 field were developed, it seems like they were developed independently. And so we did a lot of tests here in LA last winter with field size, and it really worked well to use the width of the 5-on-5 field, which is actually, according to Bula, thinner than the 4-on-4 field. So the dimensions of our fields today are all the Bula dimensions, with the exception of a little bit 3 yards narrower, which is the same width as the 5-on-5 field. And we found that it's just like, it makes defense a little bit easier near the end zone. It makes it a little bit more exciting. If you have this huge wide end zone, it's real easy to score.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk a little bit about the rules for this game specifically. So as Keegan mentioned, 2 men, 2 women, both sides, all the time. Playing to 13. We have a special rule here, 2 pointers, cross-gender end zone to end zone. So pretty much any time a guy is in the end zone, if he throws to the opposite end zone and a girl catches it, it's worth 2 points, and vice versa.
And this is a rule that,
which is pretty cool.
Here in LA, we have a beach league that runs. Having moved from Boston, the best time of year to be in LA is November and December, because you're rejoicing and it's nice out instead of hunkering down for winter. So we have a beach league that's November and December here in LA, and we've played with this rule set for a long time. A lot of people kind of scoff at the cross-gender 2-pointer rule, but we found, having played it a lot, that it makes for a very exciting game. A game can swing in a couple throws in a couple moments. And again, we're looking at trying to make the most exciting and the best format we can for Beach Ultimate. So the cross-gender 2s, and today we've seen a lot of attempts and a lot of completions and a lot of uncompletions. Uncompletions?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different game in terms of strategy, both how you attack that on offense and how you defend against that on D.
Yeah.
So we'll see that certainly in this game. Players backing the deep by a significant amount, much more than you would if there weren't 2-pointers. And even what we might call a power dump, where a player is out of the end zone, dumps it backwards specifically with the intent of throwing a 2-pointer. So it's pretty exciting.
Some of the best opportunities for 2-pointers actually come on the turn. When you're near the end zone and the other team turns the disc, you can make a little dump and someone can just take off. And so we'll definitely see some of that. We'll see people working on from the set, and we'll also see people working on that off the turn. It's a little bit of an adjustment. We've definitely seen that people that have played the format before have a little bit of an advantage in terms of timing and field space and setting that up. But that's one. Any other rule differences? I don't think so. The poles need to be upside down.
Yeah.
And that's mostly to prevent this big backhand or flick roller that just goes 40 feet out of bounds every time and allows the defense to set up. The upside down pull just gets the game going a little bit quicker, and you can still have a very high pull that hangs for a long time and be upside down, but the release needs to be upside down.
And the stall here is to 6, not 10.
Stall's to 6. All right, so we're seeing here Golden State. Should we just talk about the roster a little bit? Or?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, we've got a couple of Fury players, Marika Austin, Carolyn, Finney, Cree Howard, Kayla Jorgensen, Drea Romano, and a handful of Blackbird players.
Yep, Dan Gillick, Sally Mims. And then still some Revolver guys as well, Michael Spear, Russell.
Guys.
Yeah.
And Goose is in town from, I believe, North Carolina, although he plays in Chicago on Machine.
Very good. And for Fog City, it looks like we're about to do a flip here to see who starts with the disc. Now, if you're unfamiliar with how we start a game, it can be a flip. Sometimes it's rock, paper, scissors. Sometimes it can be
any sort of silly, any number of silly games.
But as long as the two people agree on it, it's all good.
So we're not sure what they decided there, but we'll figure it out in a second. Fog City in yellow, I believe.
No, they're blue. Yeah.
Fog City in blue.
Golden State in yellow. Goldenrod.
Yep. Again, Fog City, bunch of Fury players. Slap. Anna Nazarov. Got a couple of Blackbird players, Deanna Bjorquist and Mac Taylor, Castle Cinecrope. Got a couple of LA guys, Eric Turok Listener, Alex Hermani, who went to UCLA and is up in the Bay now. Bill Liu is up in the Bay. They're both on Donuts, I believe. Had a good club season through regionals.
And Chuck, the Chuckster Town, is playing, and he's usually in this chair.
Chuck Town,
So we're going to just try to do a fraction as well commentating as he does. Okay. And he'll do at least as well as we do on the Ultimate Field. It'll be great.
Maybe.
Yeah. And there he is, Chuck Town the man. Just to say a little bit about the venue, this fog you're seeing is a little bit unseasonal, but not unheard of. We're in Santa Monica. Sun sort of came and went all day. And we just got a little bit of fog rolling off the ocean, which is actually kind of nice. Temperature's comfortable, probably high 60, low 70.
A little cooler than we're used to, frankly.
A little cooler, but again, it's nice. All right, we got Fog City in blue, Golden State in yellow. You'll notice also they're playing with a pink frisbee. Usually we play with white frisbees, but through thorough research, it's sort of been proven that the pink frisbee shows up better for these cameras, and we can see it better. So same exact frisbee, it just happens to be pink.
And we're off.
So you can hear the Danger Women calls.
Yeah, he's going, Alec. Round. It's in the middle. Far side, Ayo. Up. Nice, Alec.
Defense by Alex Hermani, Fog City.
Underneath.
Push up, Bill. Yeah, Bill. Come on, Bill.
Great catch, great run.
And that is what we call a break.
So one of the things you'll see when there's only 4 people on the field, even though the field is small, there's a lot of space. And so some of the best stuff you're going to see is a throw to space. So she sees him going, just puts it right on, puts it out, but floats it. You know, some of the best throws are those that are going to land inbounds and just lets the offensive player run underneath it.
Great Bay Area rivalry here. Almost every player has a teammate on the other team.
Yeah, this is a good matchup. All right, we got Eric Turok Listener with the pull. And who's the rest of that line? Slaps out there.
Yep. Got Slap.
All right, Kayla's putting up a 2. Not going to work.
And Slap scoops it up.
And then she puts one up. Nice bid.
Round.
Sally dumps.
Jeff. Jumping up, Jeff. You guys are good. Dark.
Little miscommunication there, but it's a good space to be thrown to.
Yep.
All right, so they're picking it up. They're in the end zone, so you're hearing danger calls, which just means that if the throw goes end zone to end zone, it will be for 2 points.
Man on.
Kayla Jorgensen going back to pick up the disc.
She went
For Golden
to
State.
Santa Barbara, UC Santa Barbara. Great
Scores
break.
to Sally Mims.
When did Kayla graduate?
Well, she was definitely part of that that championship run with Finney.
It must have been 2010, 2011. There she is. Great break throw.
A couple of miscues on both sides, but Golden State scores ultimately.
Which one?
There's a little bit of wind out here as well. There hasn't really been much wind all day, but it's picking up.
That's a good left. Yeah.
As Keegan mentioned earlier, the pole must be inverted.
And so
prevent it.
I'm not sure if that was strategy, but that pole was short, so not in the end zone. So they don't have a 2 opportunity. Oh.
Bit of a miscue.
So again, here we are set up for a 2 because he's taking it at the front line. Now the lines are usually out of bounds and out of the end zone. The exception is that if you check the disc in on a line, the 2-pointer is still a valid option. So right now you saw him take the dump all the way back in the end zone. Now we're out. It's good movement up the open side.
Marika Austin to Finney, back to Marika for the score. Golden State.
It's good quick movement back and forth there for the goal.
Teammates in the regular season, so they definitely know how to play together.
And that's one thing we definitely see out here. Living in LA and playing a lot of beach, the first couple games we definitely saw which teams have played a lot of beach and which teams have maybe made the trek from somewhere else where they don't have beaches or where they don't play quite as much beach, because it's definitely a different game. The speed is different, the cutting is different, the space is different.
And frankly, 4s is pretty different from traditional beach, which is generally played 5 versus 5.
Yep.
It's certainly a different game, both strategically and also just in terms of running and space. And the 2-pointer adds an extra element to that.
Again, we've got a short pull rolled out the side.
Deanna Borquist with the disc to Eric Listener.
Throwing high to the tall boy, and that's going to work.
And Alec pulls it in, no problem.
Definitely a perfect throw to the tallest player in the field. Get it up, get it where he can see it, can track it right in, gets a good read, makes the play.
Not a ton of wind out here, but definitely a little bit. I think probably a little more than we anticipated. Again, if you guys are just joining, playing with a pink disc in order to create more contrast. Just takes a little getting used to.
Just more visible on the TV. Tied at 2s. So another good pull strategy is throwing a fast upside-down pull that slides out. Give your team a little bit of time to set. And if it slides out the back, you get to walk it up to the front cone, which is what happened. And you're still set for a 2-pointer if you want it.
This side.
Good break throw.
Michael Spear to Cree Howard for the Golden State score.
Great high release break there to Kayla.
Slap on the mark.
This is all break side. Yep, break, break, break.
Great high release throw there, Michael Spear.
It's definitely fun watching people that we often watch on the grass game sort of come here and play some beach. It's interesting to see how people adjust. Some people do really well, some people do less well, but in general, if you can jump that high, you're going to be good.
Yeah, I think that obviously grass skill translates well to beach skill. What beach mitigates a little bit is athleticism. So if you're not used to running on sand, you're bound to be a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Definitely have an advantage in LA and San Francisco. We play a lot of beach in both cities, so it's no surprise that those cities definitely stand out, those players.
Women working it, men downfield. Eric Listner with the disc. Oof.
Turn in the middle of the field. Finney's going to pick it up. Quick break.
Great D.
Huge D by Eric Turok Listner.
And now we got a woman with the disc, and she's going to jack it, looking for a 2.
And
It's a little
it is
too
out
far,
of
but that's a great throw.
A little bit out of reach, but great D on Turok's
So we're hearing
part.
danger women because we now, okay, we're out. Another great throw to space, really great.
And Marika, no surprise, pulls it in.
Sun poked its head out for a second there.
Marika Austin had an unbelievable game at Nationals against Riot. It's on film. If you haven't had a chance to check out that Fury Riot game, I definitely recommend going back and watching it. Really awesome game.
That throw is a great example of, it's sort of a forehand that's coming over the defender's head to the open space, actually to the left side. And that's a very hard throw to defend because you can't get a good read on it. A lot of people might say you throw a fake and throw a backhand there, but if you can throw that throw, that's a hard one to defend, and it works a lot.
Pull by Dan Gillick.
So again, a short pull, so they're going to have to dump it if they want a 2-look, but looks like they're all set. They're just going to go forward with it.
Playing it honest.
Great lateral movement.
Great handler movement. Generally moving the disc in the first few seconds. On Big D. Possible call. No call.
No call.
Play on. Goose Helton will pick it up.
Big swing. Yeah, it's really exciting with 4 people on the field. There's a lot of space, and you get a lot of exciting one-on-one matchups. And so often, the more you can laterally move the disc and use the space and create those matchups, the better you're going to do.
It's also nice because one gender doesn't
Steve.
dominate.
Well, and that's the beauty of fours, in my opinion, is even if your best friend is your other male on the line, once you've thrown to him, unless he's going to just throw right back to you, you got to throw to one of your ladies, and vice versa.
A couple of quick turns.
So she's going to pick it up, and a two-pointer will be valid, so we'll see what happens. Got a big, tall defender in the backfield, so it's... Break throws are really good on this team.
Chooses to put the ball into the field. No two-point danger anymore.
A lot of good movement.
Great movement. You can see that the cuts are a little stuck. It's just a matter of a long point, a couple turns. People getting comfortable with each other out there.
But also you can tell, I mean, I'm especially seeing it on the Golden State side. They're just really comfortable with their break throws. I think this throw she's about to throw is a break too. Little backhand break. Yeah, just sort of steps in. Yeah, when we think about the two-pointer, we often say that one of the best defenses against it is to have a really good mark. And in general, you know, the more the person with the disc has to pay attention to the mark and what they're doing, and the less they can just be looking downfield and setting up their throw, the better you are. But especially with the twos, if you can get down on that mark and really hassle that person with the disc, they're going to have a lot less possibility to put a perfect throw somewhere way downfield. 5-2.
In a game with two-pointers, especially, though, anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, 2 throws, and we're back to 6-5. If you're just joining us, I'm Keegan Ewell. I'm sitting here with
Ramey Shore.
And we are watching 2 San Francisco teams compete in the showcase game here Saturday at the U.S. Beach Open. It's 4-on-4 beach frisbee. 2 men, 2 women on the field at the same time.
Good handler movement. And slap
nice
with
throw.
the shot.
And that's the thing. There's not a lot of room for error. It's not a big field. So if someone gets open by a couple steps, you can just lead them to a space. It's over. Points go quicker. Games go quicker because we got those twos involved too. Little jab step in. Great throw.
Defender knows he's got it.
Yep.
Pulls up.
Thrower just put it
Saves
where
his
the
energy.
defender's not going to get.
Mac Taylor with the pull for Fog City momentarily. Pull has to be inverted like that, upside down.
So it's in the end zone. So we got 2 men back right now handling, and then 2 women upfield.
It's a great throw.
I like this Feeney on Mad Dog, or Mad Dog on Feeney matchup downfield right now.
Weird throw coming.
Mad Dog is Anna Nazarov. She went to UCLA.
No blind, no blind, no blind.
Nice throw.
And Ian to Marika Austin.
So I'll be interested to see. Well, let's watch this replay if we got it. I'll be interested to see how Fog City responds because 6-2, right? Yeah, it's just a nice cut to the corner.
Again, in this kind of game with this caliber of player, anything can happen. But with the twos, anything can happen really quickly.
Yep.
So
it's also interesting on that end zone cut. It's a smaller field and things happen quicker. So it's almost like you got to be closer to your person on defense at all times, especially because there's fewer people on the field. There's a lot of space. Maybe there's only 1 or 2 people upfield, and with great throwers, that can put it anywhere. They can break. They can do whatever they want. The defense seems like if they're even just a couple steps off, sometimes that's all it takes. So one of our sponsors is Alkalogic Water. We thank all of the sponsors for coming on board. Great catch.
great save by Tarak.
So Truck's been an LA player for a while. He was at UCLA? I forget. Someone will correct me on that later. So you're seeing just a lot of break throws. Throwers really able to do a lot of stuff. That was a good attempt, trying to float it to space. Just a little miscommunication.
So the players in the back of the field, Eric Listener and Deanna right now, are backing their players to prevent that two-shot, push them under.
And the two-pointer really, that's another great throw to space. Oof.
A little bit of a misread, went up maybe a little early.
But just the threat of the two-pointer really does change everything in terms of the defense.
Yeah, you can see Sally backing Deanna right now.
And you got a huge advantage. If the other team has to constantly be worried about you throwing a two, you have a huge advantage. Nice
And
running.
a great offensive flow put together by Fog City. Fighting their way back.
Fighting their way back. They've been ahead. All right. My bad. Yellow and blue mixed up. This is my first time
It's cool.
doing this
Colors are hard.
commentating, you know? Yeah, that's just great flow. Great work. The other
That
thing
is what ultimately should look like.
Yeah, well, the other thing that's different with 4-on-4 is you only have 4 people, and oftentimes once you make a couple throws, there might be a couple of players out of position. So it works best when everyone cycles through every position. It's not the same as when you have 7 people on a grass field, and you can do your job by staying out of the way and then getting ready to cut off that second throw, or if you're a handler, just hang out by the disc all the time. It really does work well when you're constantly cycling through. You play a couple throws of... wow, great D.
Big D. Big D, no call.
Just got a finger on that. It's a game of inches.
Like football and life.
That's right. What about those Cubs? Another great throw to space.
Big shot.
Oh, what a D.
Huge layout D, Goose Helton.
Really great D.
Goose is a Chicago player. Lives on the East Coast. Great on defense.
And
great
he's
on
trying
offense.
a 2, and that could work.
He's throwing a 2
Oh, just a little
out
too
of
far.
freeze reach.
Great run, though.
Just slightly out of bounds.
And so there's a good example, like right there on the turn. Oftentimes you can catch people off guard on the turn near the end zone. Just pick up the disc, and someone's sprinting deep. Some of the best 2 looks come off the turn.
Slap with the disc for Fog City.
And so you see,
No
Slap's
two-point
going to stay a couple and handle, and then she'll probably end up upfield. And when she does, then she's going to have help coming back on that dump.
And an
That's a great
easy shot. And again, Fog City clawing their way back. 5-6 now.
That's what we like.
Close games.
Man, the wind is... I know, as someone who moved from Boston to LA, I should never say this, but I'm a little cold.
Yeah, it's a little cold. I've lost all that Chicago blood.
Well, not all of it, right?
Pretty much.
You were excited about the Cubs.
I am very excited about the Cubs. It's true. There may have been some tears this week.
From a lot of people, I think.
Yep.
You can see that fog there. That's the Santa Monica Pier off in the distance. It's not that far, but it's been fog's just rolling in little waves off the ocean today. So we got another short pull, but it actually rolls on the end zone. So they're starting in 2 territory if they want it. We got 2 guys back, 2 women upfield. And
Keeping
they're
it in
just
that
going to dump it.
two-pointer.
So there we go. There's
And
the
they
2
take the shot.
and that's going to work.
And
Wow, nice work.
it works.
So that was kind of picture perfect. The 2 guys back just dumped it back and forth until their marks were on. And, you know, that's when it works really well. Here, watch. He just takes the dump, and the mark comes on hard.
Commits.
There we go. Just they took their time. It was great. But also, once that mark is on him, he then has the ability to go deep as well. Some of the best deep cuts in 4-on-4 Beach Ultimate come when that mark comes down hard. Their momentum is going towards the end zone, and you can take off right behind them. And then it's just, again, a nice throw to space. Wins the day.
So that is half plus 1.
Half plus 1.
Normally half would have been taken at 7, but with that 2-point shot, Golden State has 8. And SF Fog City has 5.
So this
Again,
is-
still anyone's game.
It's the only iteration of Ultimate that I know that if the game's at 13, the final score can be 14.
Yeah.
You end it on a 2.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Took a couple of minutes for half.
I mean, the great thing about both these teams, though, is that these are just everybody's an all-star player, and so
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be an exciting second half for sure.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the two-pointer in addition is it can result in a huge swing. So if you have the disc, you take a shot, you miss that shot, and they go for the 2,
Yeah.
all of a sudden that deficit feels pretty big.
And a lot of times that happens. Like, if you throw a 2, you are sprinting the entire length of the field, and then you're tired. If they capitalize on that turn, immediately pick it up, someone else has an opportunity. Yeah, it can swing real fast.
Fog City with a little song.
Yeah. The other thing is just the cross-gender nature of the 2. The thing about having men and women on the field, a lot of times if you play Mixed Ultimate, or if you've seen it, Mixed Ultimate, it's very easy to marginalize people because you want to throw to your best friend and they happen to be the same gender. Or if it's 2 women, it can happen too. And so the two-pointer actually, it works really well that it has to be cross-gender. It almost seems inequitable when you think about it, but it promotes equity.
Involvement,
Yeah.
right? It involves
and if you have
everybody.
2 superstar guys that love throwing to each other, it can just devolve into just that. And I think we've all seen games, especially on the beach, devolve into that in the 5 world. And we just don't see that out here. It's great.
So we're going to get started on the second half, I think, in just a moment.
Yeah.
Looks like Fog City's ready. They are lined up to...
So who do we have
receive,
out
I
there?
believe?
Who do we have? We got Slap, we
So
got
have
Eric.
Slap, Turok, we have Mac Taylor, Mac Tay.
And Slap's full name is Marisha Dariani.
Mac Tay, former Revolver player, Blackbird captain now.
And then who's on for
And on Golden State,
here.
we have Goose Helton, Cree Howard, Marika, Austin, and I believe Alex Evangelides.
We didn't nail that pronunciation, by the way.
Oh, I asked a couple people.
So right now we've got Slap, strong thrower in the end zone. Okay, that's a great hammer.
Turok with the overhand dish to Mac Tay. Slap with the disc. Takes a shot
I always
to
forget
Mac.
that Slap's a lefty. And she throws lefty laser beams. Oh, almost.
And Mac lays out Turok. He doesn't quite get it.
Not quite enough float on that backhand high release.
Wind probably pushed that down a bit more than he was anticipating.
All right, so we have a 2-point shot right now. Marika's cutting for it.
But Turok gets a hand on it.
Eric gets a
Cree
piece.
recovers.
Nice, Mac. Inside, up.
Goose to Marika. And the easy goal to
And that's
Cree.
just running. That's
Marika
winning with
and
your
Cree.
legs.
Good work, Golden State. Capitalizing out of the half, 9-5.
Nice, easy throws to space, and the runner, the receiver gets to run onto him.
Up
All
the
this.
open side.
Looks great.
They're taking what Fog City is giving them.
I think these blow-up beach sofas are also a sponsor.
They are. And they're great.
Yeah, real
But
good.
You
The easy
can't
lay.
dive onto them or they'll
I
break.
think 2 have been
it
popped
turns out.
already, but they're nice and comfy, don't weigh much. So
Here we
let's
go with
see
the
what we're doing
pull.
with the pull.
Alec to Chuck. Chucktown Kindred.
He's looking for Alec deep. Oh, Chuck's going. Oh, that,
Quick offensive movement.
oh, good throw.
Quick score by Fog City. That's really excellent dump and open side offense,
And way to
hammer movement.
just cut to the space and trust that your teammate's
the
going to get it
ultimate.
there for you. A little bit of a dump.
Still anybody's game.
Just throw into the space. So all these players have great touch on their throws, and that really goes a long way on the beach. The speed on the beach is a little bit slower, and so it's real important to have touch on your throws so you're not going to just laser beam it past someone. And there's Chuck. Like I said, he's of AUDL announcing fame. I think he does a lot of other stuff too, but he's great behind the mic. So there's another 2-point shot, double coverage, but wow, beautifully placed.
Good.
Beautifully placed.
Ian Meyer to
Kayla
Jorgensen. Easy two. Kayla was double covered, but Ian trusted his teammate.
And just threw it to the perfect spot. But also, where's the mark? No offense, man. I love you, Alec. But one of the ways to stop that is to get down hard and put a hassle mark on him so that he's not going to be able to let that loose. Just a perfect throw. And that's the thing. All you got to do is get him thinking about you a little bit, and then that perfect throw becomes a little too floaty, and then you've got two defenders there.
And to be fair, if Ian had decided that she wasn't quite open enough, she pulled a second
Defender with her. Right.
So whoever that other female cutter was surely open underneath.
And that often happens on the twos. Like when you have someone in the end zone, people are yelling danger men or danger women in terms of which gender has the frisbee in the end zone, and often someone goes deep for a two and they take two people with them, and then you've got a lot of open stuff underneath.
And it's harder to recover from that on the sand. It's harder to get back onto your person. Pull into the end zone.
But the field's so small, it's not like you have to muscle it to get. I'd say every player on this field can throw from end zone to end zone pretty well. And so the way to stop those easy throws are to put a great mark on.
Blue is
so they're
definitely
working it.
Looking for the two.
They're listening to their hecklers in the corner there.
They sure are.
Maybe a two hammer look.
Easy
So,
D.
So Ramy, what happens if, let's say, he macks it and Mad Dog catches it? Does that count as a two?
I believe it does. It does. I think that was discussed in the captain's meeting.
It was. And what if
unintentional mac?
So a male throws it, a male macks it, a woman catches it in the end zone.
That would be a two.
Let's say it was the reverse. Let's say a male threw it, and a female macks it, and a male catches it in the end zone.
It would be one.
Got it.
The thrower has to be the opposite gender of the person that catches it for
great
the
throw.
score.
Ooh, not complete.
Just out of his reach. A couple of high stall count throws this point. I think people are getting a little antsy as the game gets nearer to 13.
Eric wants another look. I saw him with
Mad
Dog, and there's Mad Dog with the disc. Eric's still in the end zone, trying the two again. Gonna go with the hammer. Oh,
and it's
wow!
Two. Just like we've said, anybody's game that's worth
That's
two.
amazing.
Fog City.
Hammer's a bit risky for a two. I mean, all you need is a finger on a hammer to do it.
Yep.
It's a bit risky, but it worked.
I play in LA's Sunday Beach League with Turok. He's always going to take that chance shot. It usually works.
He's a great player.
Just like that.
And she had the better read on it. That sometimes matters, makes all the difference.
So Fog City's still down a couple.
He knows he got away with one. Look at him.
11-8. But continuing to claw their way back.
And so the game is to 13. The hard cap would be 15. So right now, again, this is a chance to win the game on it with a two. So we'll see. Is Golden State going to try to win the game with a two, or is that going to be risky and they know they're up a couple and it's safer just to walk it in?
Should we make a bet? Oh, well, the pole rolled out of bounds.
So they're going to, if they super dump that, some of the fans are asking for a super dump. It's a great break throw.
Yep.
Again, Golden State capitalizing with those breaks.
And Cree with the disc. Easy throw. Easy throw to Drea.
And again, it's a different defensive mentality. When you have 7 people, you can play a lot of team D. You can do bracketing. You can take away some space, and someone will take away the other. There's a lot of one-on-one matchups, and that's a great example. Like, the only way to defend is to be really close to your defender and have up calls from the sideline. And
And frankly, it's easy to get a little stuck in the sand.
Totally.
A little.
Sand is not a flat surface.
Yeah, you dig in a little, and it's hard to recover from that.
Would also say that this Santa Monica sand is quite deep.
Yeah, definitely relative to Chicago, where they play Sandblast, and Wildwood, New Jersey, where they play Wildwood.
I would say this is some of the deepest sand.
Yep.
Rami and I both played in Dubai on the Masters team at Worlds last year, and the sand wasn't this deep.
It was not. It was not shallow, but it was not this
Yeah.
deep. We have a lot of practice.
Okay, so we got a short pull again to prevent the two.
Todd wants the power dump.
Guy danger.
Uh-oh, Slap's putting it up. We'll see. That's triple coverage. Could still work. Wow.
Alec gets the grab. Not a score.
Base to be
not
tall.
Quite in the end zone.
That's going to work. Nice work, Blue.
So Blue adds 1. Great coverage, keeping him out of the end zone. Relegating them to just 1 point that possession.
Sorry, I missed that replay a tiny bit, but it's all good. It's a great play by Alec. He had a good read on it.
He was triple covered,
Yeah.
as Keegan said.
Is that you can't teach tall? It's not quite. He didn't just stand there and catch it over 10 people, but he could have. I would say, being a tall person, I'm 6'5", and Alex about that. It's a huge advantage on the beach. On the grass, on a grass or a turf surface, short people who can change directions quicker and don't weigh 220-some pounds have a huge advantage. But on the beach, those little steps somehow get taken away, and the tall people can just take a couple steps and then have a huge reach, and they definitely have an advantage, I think. Also, I'd just say it's a more forgiving playing surface. We watch a lot of ADL, MLU games on turf, and we see pretty good injuries, and the beach is really forgiving. So that's a
nice
great bid.
Bid by Finney. Nice attempted D. Fog City, number 13. Power dump.
So that's a big dump back for 2. We'll see if they're going to try it.
So they're sort of toying with the idea of dumping the disc way back so they can take a 2-point shot like that. Fell just short.
I mean, what do you think? The hammer, or you think it's better to put up a floater in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little hard to tell exactly what the wind is like out there on the field.
Speaking of putting up a floater,
But I think floating it, easy flick or backhand is always going to be a little easier to read. Mad Dog grabs the ball.
nice shot.
And the relatively easy score, the 1-pointer for Fog City.
All right, game's not over yet.
It is not. 12-10, Golden State.
Receiving.
Again, Golden State in yellow, Fog City in blue. San Francisco versus San Francisco. Tiny bit of sun maybe at the end of the day here.
Sally, was that Sally Mims that threw that? She did a great job moving the mark. I don't know if you saw that, but just the fundamental stuff of throwing a fake here and throwing the fake there to create the throw that you want. Textbook. No, Sally's on the other team.
Correct.
My bad. Like I said, first time doing this. But yeah, what I was talking about before, sand is very forgiving. So what's exciting is you can see people who, if they were to make the same play on grass, they might end up in the hospital. A lot of huge diving plays and catches and bids that sometimes people wouldn't make on grass because they're worried about getting injured, and the sand is nice and forgiving in terms of that.
So Golden State only needs 1 point here. So they're probably not going to force a 2.
And it seems
No
like
need.
just work the disc real hard, up the field, nice and slow. Should work.
Just like they're doing.
So
It's pretty much alternating genders in terms of
Yep,
throws.
yep.
Guy to girl, to guy to girl, and
there
for
we
the
go.
score and the win.
That's the game. So it's interesting, too. A lot of times you have the instinct to take away the dump and force that person upfield. And in grass, you're forcing that person into 6 other players. On the beach, oftentimes you see that happen. You force the dump upfield, and that person scores a goal.
Yeah, they're all alone. That's a great high release backhand over Mac.
Again, really touchy throw.
Russell win for the score.
Great game. I mean, the thing about these two teams, too, is I wouldn't be surprised if we see them again tomorrow and the score could go another way.
Absolutely. So they're high-fiving, great spirit all around.
So again, I'm Keegan Ewell, and
Ramey Shore.
thanks for listening. Hope we didn't bore you.